And we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. One word. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wee, wow. That was a pretty special performance from a Springboks side who have put up with for me, a lot of unjust criticism in the last few months. They pitched up today and they got the job done. And I just think that I'll say in my review, I don't think I've ever seen such a dominant performance from the Springboks against the All Blacks as that. And I think a lot of credit needs to go to our head coach because Jacques Nienaber got that defense in I don't know what he said to them. I don't know what we did in the training. That was a defensive masterclass, an absolute masterclass. To basically we kept New Zealand to 3 points for 76 minutes or 78 minutes or whatever it was. I don't know when New Zealand, I don't think New Zealand have ever been kept to 10 points too many times. So the fact that we kept them to 3 points up until after a red card, before a red card, is pretty special. And look, the fact that we scored 26 points is pretty sensational on its own. But for me, the defense today was just unbelievable. And as the person who is in charge of the defense, I think Jacques Nienaber can take a lot of credit for that victory because, yeah, as I said, it was a special performance from a defensive point of view. But I think a lot of it needs to go. A lot of credit needs to go to the players for really standing up and not being blown away by the occasion. We haven't seen a Springbok side, for me, start that well in quite a while. We are a very slow starting team. We just generally do start well. But I'm pretty slow. So not today. That was the difference. Today, we scored in the 7th minute from the first kick of the ball, from the first whistle to the last whistle. We were up for it. We were there. Every hit was personal. Every contribution was important. And as I said, I think that the defensive effort for me was about attitude. The rush defense, it was flawless, really. There were always gonna be a couple of line breaks. They're always gonna slip tackles, and that's an interesting thing with our defensive system. We will miss a lot of tackles. We could very well have missed 20 tackles there. I'd love to see what Ultimate Rugby officially had us, because I'm sure we probably did miss about 20 tackles. But it didn't matter in the end, because what the tackle does, it's about stopping the momentum. It's about removing the outside option, and we did that incredibly well. And I just wanted to go and see exactly how many tackles we made, because it's very interesting. Because as soon as we lose, people pull up the tackle stats, and they'll sit there saying, "Well, you slipped 15 tackles. So how can you expect to win?" We won, and as I said, I'm very keen to see what these stats are going to say, because I don't think they're going to be very impressive. I think that they are going to be pretty poor, because I think we did miss quite a few tackles, because often the first tackle will miss and the second tackle will get him, because that's the way our defensive system works. And over here, it has us at an 82% tackle success rate, missing 21 tackles. 21 tackles missed. And yet, let's be honest, we talk about that as a defensive masterclass. So it's interesting how rugby's evolved. And so it's not always about making your tackles, it's about making the hit, it's about stopping the momentum. So yeah, we're going to go through the player ratings. We're going to give everybody a rating. The idea is that you go through 1 through 10, and I'm hoping the people have rated a bit better this time, because we have had issues in the past where the ratings have been really badly reflective. In fact, we are actually currently looking at developing a different system, because the ratings have been very poor during the Welsh series. But before we do the ratings, I need to man of the match nominations. I would like to put in Malcolm Marx. I would like to put in Andre Pollard. Who else should we put to the man of the match candidates? As I said, who was your man of the match? I need 3 or 4 candidates. I like the Willems shouts that are coming in. I would have put Kirk Lawrence there until his red card. It does have to take him out the running, unfortunately. But it was a pretty good performance till then. Who was your man of the match? I'm with the girlfriend, love it. So I'm putting in Damien Willems. I'm putting in Malcolm Marx. I'm putting in Andre Pollard. And what else? I'm seeing Hendrickson. I'm seeing Lacanya. For me, it's between Hendrickson or Lacanya. I must admit, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I'm seeing more Lacanya arms coming in, so let's put in the Lacanya goat. Right, there are your man of the match candidates. So start voting on that. We're going to go through the 23, and then we will close the poll, and we will have our Forever Sports man of the match brought to you by me. If anybody wants to bring you man of the match, anyone wants to throw us a young sponsorship so that we can go to Australia next week in 2 weeks' time, give me a shout. I've got my passports up to date. I can walk into Australia. So if anyone wants to come and throw a lot of money towards us, we'll take you guys to Australia. We're happy to do it. For you, we'll do it. Let's start with Trevor Nyakane. I thought it was a pretty flawless performance, to be honest. I mean, what did he do wrong? He destroyed Angus Tavo in the scrums. Won a lot of penalties. He made his tackle. I don't think he missed a tackle. Didn't do much with the ball carrying. So he's not as present in that regard as somebody like an Oxenshare, but he made 6 tackles, didn't miss a single one. I'm probably leaning towards a 7 for Big Trev. I don't think he did anything wrong. I think he emptied the tank. Yeah, so I'm looking at penalties. So you can see it. Yeah, because you can see the 1 penalty. But 1, 2. Yeah, I think his contribution today was very impressive. So I'm gonna go with a 7 for Trevor. Abel. It's not a good start, Chief. Perhaps not a good start. But I was very impressed with him, and you know what I love about him, and I think it was so representative of the Springbok environment. When he went off, I mean, this guy went off in the 39th minute or whatever. He didn't care. He wasn't upset. There was no there was no issue with him. He was chuffed. He was like, "Yo, high five!" He was like, "Done my job, boys." Now Steven Kitsov goes in there and bangs them up, And I love that. I love the fact that there's no egos in the side. Absolutely no egos whatsoever. He went out. He emptied the tank, did his job, bang. Then you can throw in Steven Kitsov, which is a pleasure to have. Malcolm Marx could be getting a 10, I thought that he was absolutely sensational. 4 turnovers. Let's look at the stats here. 8 carries. 5 turnovers won, by the way. 5 turnovers won. 4 tackles. 24 meters banned. 1 defense. And not a single tackle missed. I'm giving Malcolm Marx a 10. 100% giving him a 10. And I don't know how he started at 7.2. I don't think I've actually ever given him a 10, but how could you not give him a 10 after that performance? Because as I said, I don't... you talk about perfect performances. By the way, the links is the pinned comment there, so you can go and jump on there. I don't think... that was one of the special Springbok performances for the Eras. So big ups to him. On his 50th test, he was absolutely sensational. Moving on to Frans Malherbe. Yeah, look, it wasn't... you don't see tight heads doing a lot, but when it comes to scrummaging, again, he's an immovable option, really. Made 4 tackles, didn't miss a single one. No carries from France, so I would say he's done his job. His core job. So I'll give him a 7. No issues with Frans Malherbe. Patricia Vermaak 4. Imagine watching that match and ranking anybody a 4. 6.3 even, I think, is a bit harsh. I mean, we absolutely murdered them at the scrums, and you're gonna give Frans Malherbe a 4. People. Eben Etzebeth was Eben Etzebeth, wasn't he? Relentless. 6 carries, 4 tackles, line out 1, 2 missed tackles, 1 turnover, 1 conceded. Yeah, I thought Eben went pretty well. So I'll go with a 7 for Eben, I reckon. I'm pretty solid. I think phenomenal. But yeah, 7. I like it. We're on the same page there. Lewitt, bit of a quiet game from Lewitt's standards. Didn't see any massive runs down the park, stuff like that. But 8 tackles, none missed. He was pretty solid again. I'm probably going to go with a 7 for Lewitt. So I'll go with a 7 for Lewitt. 7.2. I mean, I don't think he was better than Eben, so I think that's a harsh rating on Eben. But our lineups were very good, so salute to this core responsibility. Siamtanda Khaleesi, my boy, is playing very good rugby at the moment. 2 carries, 10 tackles, not a single tackle missed, 7 meters gained. I mean, he's just. And again, you don't always see the work he does. But Artie Sevilla was kept quiet for a long time. It's just his work rate, which to me is always so impressive. So I'm going to give Sia a 7. It's just becoming so consistent at the moment. 7.1. And for me, like, Sia also popped up in very crucial moments and made some pretty big tackles with those 10 tackles. He's such a class player. Such a class player. PSF the toy. I thought PSF was good. I thought that he's still not. He's not the PSF the toy that won the World Player of the Year. Let's be honest. He's not quite back there to his best form. But he was solid. He was good today. He was pretty physical. He made his tackle. He made 9 tackles here. He made 3 carries. It's just the 1 tackle. So I'll give him a solid 7. I don't think he was sensational. 6.6. I think it's probably a little bit harsh. Jasper Visa, again, I mean, he's not Dwayne Vermeulen, but he was actually pretty solid under the high ball. He made 14 tackles, by the way, a match high. Didn't miss a single one. 8 carries, 22 meters gain, 1 defender beaten. I'm actually almost towards an 8 for Jasper. I thought that he quietly had a very, very good game. I've been quite impressed with him. I think he's added his soft skills are looking a bit better. He conceded a couple of silly penalties, so he needs to cut that out. I thought the one was clever by Scott Barrett because he came running in trying to key out Scott Barrett, and Scott Barrett basically stood up and said "lol," but he was 6.2. I think is incredibly harsh. I think he's getting better and better each game. So quite happy with what I'm seeing there. Faf de Klerk, I'm not even going to rate. Man, you made 46 tackles. I mean, 46 minutes. 46 seconds, Steven. You'll get there in the end. The forecast lights in the bin probably was the cause of that. So I'm not going to bother rating Faf. I thought Pollard was very good, by the way. I think that's the Pollard we've been waiting to see for quite a long time. So I'm probably going to give Pollard an 8. Yeah, something making a good point there. Jasper Visa with that very important ankle tap there. So Pollard 5.8 is a bit ludicrous. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start from scratch with these player ratings next week because for whatever reason they're just not working. Because if people generally thought that was 6.8 from Pollard, then yeah, XR on some different cheap drugs. I need to get some of that. Yeah, I thought Pollard was very good today. He defended very well apart from when they scored the try, but his kicking was flawless. Very good drop goal. His up and unders were very solid as well. Yeah, I thought he was very, very good today. But much more the Pollard that we kind of want to see on a weekly basis. And let's hope that that's just the beginning. Let's hope that he's getting back into form because we need him playing well. Michael Pimpy is the master of hard work and off the ball work. His aerial ability is fantastic. Again, not much time. I mean, he made 1 clean break, but his aerial work is so good. So I'll give him a Pimpy a 7. 6 is probably too harsh. But he's just such a workhorse. And then people understand sitting there saying, "Oh, we need Fussy." Watch that match. And unfortunately, Fussy cannot do what Makazole Mapimpi did for 80 minutes. He just can't. He's not the same player. And I don't think too many people can, which is the issue. I mean, Appiwa Dianti, when he was playing well, could. But it's the hard work, it's the off-the-ball work, it's the chasing, it's the aerial ability, it's all that stuff that Mapimpi brings that people don't always see. Unfortunately, people, sit there saying, well, if he doesn't score a try and he doesn't round so many people, then he's been poor. But I thought that Mapimpi was very good today. David Delindi was a bit quiet. It wasn't his best game. He got over the advantage time a couple of times. He just, what the big thing is for me is that, I mean, he made quite a few tackles, but he very rarely has a bad game. He's a very solid player. You kind of know what you're going to get from Delindi every single time. I think there was that 1 3-on-1 situation where I think he probably could have passed, But generally, he gets over the advantage line. He does a lot of the grunt work, the hard work that nobody wants to do. So credit to him for being willing to do that. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably give him a 7. I think most people are gonna get 7s. You know, the average one gets 7s, because yeah, we just played that well. I was that impressed. So Lekanya, world class, absolutely world class. The way he can affect the game in so many different ways. You're looking at the offload for the try, the turnover penalty. The covering tackle, 2 covering tackles I think he had, or 2 important tackles where he bundles them out. He's just, he's so good. He's so good. He's gonna get a 9 for me. I think Malcolm Barks is storming so that's very harsh. Storming to the man of the match award, but I thought Mapimpi was phenomenal today. So Curtly Lawrence, I'm probably gonna give him a 7, and I think he's probably an 8. But the rule is always that you go down a point if you get a card, and his card was deserved. I don't think people are gonna be upset with him, because he had played so well up until that point. But he did get a card, and they did score after that. So pity though, because he was having such a phenomenal game. He really was. So it's a pity because he deserved to get a lot out of that game. And he would have been. I hope he still has a big day tonight. I suppose I don't know what's concussions, but I hope he really does enjoy the week ahead. He probably gets stood down for 10 days after that, so we will see a new wing next week. Interesting to see what we'll do. So yeah, I mean, I'll give him a 7 because I think he up until then he was very good, and I think 7's fair. But sir, this man, guys, is world class. He really is world class, and I'm not saying that because he has an absolute storm of a game, but he just is so comfortable all of a sudden. He looks like so comfortable in the game. He just belongs now. It's taken a while for Willemse to really settle in. And I think maybe to a certain point, I think a lot of the times when he came and he kind of burst into the scene, and sometimes he was guilty of overdoing it. And I think it comes with the hype, and everybody's sort of sitting there saying, this guy's gonna be the best in the world, and he's almost trying too hard. And I think what we are now seeing is we're seeing a mature Damian Willemse. He is a bit older. He's made his international debut at 20 years old or something silly. So he is now 24 years old, and which is not old, but he's been playing Test rugby for 4 years. And I think that we are now seeing a mature Willemse who just reads the game a bit better. He's a lot calmer, and he's just getting better and better. And I think we were all worried about Villaroo and stuff like that. And I personally was calling for Warwick Holland. But Willemse is just looking like $1 million. So I'm going to give him an 8. Kind of a bit of a Rolls Royce type player. 6.4 is ludicrous, by the way. Yeah, unfortunately, I think this rating plugin is a bit sketchy. We're gonna have to get checked out because, yeah, I reckon that is bizarre, absolutely bizarre, to be giving him those sort of ratings. Bongi Manambi, that wasn't his best game. Probably the only person who actually might get a 6 because he didn't have much to do, to be fair. And a 6 is an average performance. But he did lose a lot when he came on. 1 carry, 4 tackles, 3 missed tackles. Not his best game. Yeah, I'll probably give him I'll even give him a 5. 6.5 seems pretty generous. But yeah, look, didn't have much to do. It's not like not like the mistakes affected the match that much. He just didn't get to affect the game much. But yeah, so Stephen Kitsoff for me was very impressive. I'm going to give him a 7. Could have almost actually had an 8 there. 6.7 is very harsh because, yeah, the build up to was the drop goal, was the penalty. He was everywhere. Man was taking after the up and under been passed back. He was jumping on the ball. Then he was running on the angle with ball carrying. He was everywhere. Was all spicy plum. Vincent Clark probably getting a 6 as well. Wasn't bad, but didn't do anything that special. Sam Murat was barely on, so he gets a 6. That's pretty easy. Franco Mostert was pretty good for his contribution. Pretty relentless with his defense. Got around the park a lot. 3 tackles, none missed, 1 carry. I'll probably give him and Quacker Smith a 7 because they were on the park for a lot longer. Thought his line of work was pretty good. 6.2 is a bit harsh. Quacker Smith had a very important steal. Made the tackles. Yeah, again, I'll probably give Quacker a 7. 6.8. Jaden Hendrickson for me is going to get an 8. By the way, I thought that Hendrickson was very impressive to be put in that situation. Your 4th game, if after Clerk goes down, which means you have to play the full 80. He just looks so composed. He just belongs. If you had sit there saying that guy's played 50 tests, you wouldn't blink. I think that's the biggest thing about him. That's the biggest compliment you can give him, is that he looks like he belongs there. So I'm going to give Hendrickson an 8. I was very impressed. And for shits and giggles, I'm going to give Billy Root an 8 because the man touched the ball once and he scored a try. I mean, what more do you need? Let's see, that's an all rating, 5.3. Billy LaRue coming on. First thing he did was just grab the try and say, up yours, All Blacks. We'll see you guys next time. Right, that means the last thing we have to do is vote for the man of the match. And with 73% of the 419 votes, on his 50th test, Malcolm Marx seizes the man of the match award. Gentlemen and ladies, it's been a fantastic day. It's been a really fun one. Thank you so much for keeping me company. We've blasted through 16,000 subscribers. So now the next one is trying to get to 17. As I said, I would love to be at 20,000 by the end of the Rugby Championship. So you could help me get there. Unfortunately, we won't have the post-match presses because obviously I'm not in the Mbombela and they don't do any of them virtually. But we will be back with the press conferences from Monday. So we will see you guys all there. And yeah, apart from that, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. I will have to wait and see what happens with the live shows. I am traveling. I'm going to the Eastern Cape tomorrow and I'm back on Monday. So I'm not sure when we'll be able to do live shows. So I'll kind of keep you in the loop. I want to try and do one on Monday lunchtime if possible. We might do another one tomorrow as well. So we'll just basically just keep an eye on the channel and we'll see what we can get out and when we can get it out. But yeah, people, thank you for a fantastic day. Go enjoy your evenings and we'll see you guys all very, very soon.